I believe I have found the perfect pan for the big green egg. Can you pan in on this, please? Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of the FOGO Life. I'm your host, Captain Ron. So, there are a lot of different ways to cook on a big green egg or on a grill, whatever grill you're cooking on. But I use a pan for quite a lot of different things, for searing, for just a lot of different things. You want to make a one-pan meal, you can do a lot with them. But what pan is the best? Traditionally, grilling has always been with a cast iron pan. The trouble is, they're hard to maintain and require a lot of maintenance. You have to scrub them, you got to re-season them. They just take a lot of work. They tend to rust. I love them, but they're a bit of a pain in the neck, all right? Next, stainless steel. A real nice option, but not really ideal for the grill, all right? Not so even heating sometimes. You got a lot of different issues to go on with stainless steel. Hard to keep clean, a lot of different things. Well, what I have found is some carbon steel pans here that have worked really, really well for me. It's kind of the same thing as cast iron. You have to season them first, but once you have them, they have super even heating, not requiring a lot of maintenance. It's thick. This one's really nice and thick, so you have the same kind of not materials, but same kind of build as a cast iron. So you have that solid feeling to it, you know? So today, I'm gonna show you how to properly season and maintain your carbon steel pan, and then we're even gonna cook some salmon in it and make a really delicious recipe at the end, so stick around. Now, these pans are made by a company called De Beyer. Now, they have over 200 years in business producing pans. They got a little bit of experience, I'd say. They're all produced in France. They're made from sheet steel, and they come with a beeswax finish to protect them during shipping. The nice part about carbon steel is that it gives you a super nice uniform cooking surface. It also heats up a lot quicker than cast iron. So with cast iron, we all know it retains heat well, but it takes a long time to heat up. This is gonna heat up for you a lot quicker. And it's good for all cooktops, not just for the grill. It's good for anything, including induction cooking. You can use this on anything. What season is it? It's pan season. That's right, it's seasoning time. Now, the nice part, they send you this little booklet with every pan that tells you exactly how to season it. I'm gonna take a little bit of departure from there. I'm gonna use this Crisbee stick on it here. I find this stuff works really great for cast iron, for carbon steel, for anything you wanna season. I even season my griddle with it. So this stuff works great. But we gotta get the egg heated up first so that we can season this thing properly. So let's throw some charcoal in and get this baby burning. The first step in seasoning our new pans is to wash it heavily with hot water, really hot water. It comes with this coating of beeswax in there, and it's a heavy coating. So we wanna wash as much of that coating off as we can. It's still gonna leave a little bit, but you wanna get that off of there. So I'm gonna go inside and wash this out. I'll be right back. And we are all washed, so we're gonna give it a good drying off here. Okay. So you could feel that whole big first layer of wax come off when you put it in. I put it under some hot water, ran it through with a sponge, it kind of stuck at first, and all of a sudden it just cleared up as soon as that first layer came off. So that worked out perfectly. Next step is we got it lit, so now we're gonna put a little bit of Crisbee in. You can use oil. I like to use this. Like I said, it's a great seasoning product. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a seasoning around the whole inside of this pan to get it ready. So we've got a good amount in there, but I wanna make sure I got it all covered. So I'm just gonna give it a quick rub around with the old paper towel here. We're gonna do this in a nice heavy coat, because what's gonna happen is once it heats up, it's gonna melt a little bit, we're gonna wipe it out again. And for those motorcycle enthusiasts out there, my favorite bike is a Harley Panhead. Oh. All right, you can see our pan has reached the point where it's starting to smoke. So what we're gonna do is put on our super heat gloves here, pull this baby off, okay? Take a paper towel, as such, and just wipe it out real good. We're gonna wipe out all the extra set. We're just leaving a super thin coat of the Crisbee in there. You saw the way that it melted down like that? It became a liquid again. So like that. Now we're gonna put it back on, and it should start to turn dark. For this part of it, we're actually gonna close the lid and let it really heat up good. Our pan has changed a beautiful color. It's gotten quite a bit darker than it was before. So let's pull it off and take a look and see what we got here. Look at that. Isn't that cool? I'd say that's been seasoning itself. Should we do another layer? One more quick layer here. So we're just gonna give it a quick swipe. It's nice and hot, so this stuff melts fast now. And again, same thing. We're gonna spread it around with a paper towel. Nice thin coat. You don't wanna cake this on. You want a nice thin coat on here. And Back on the egg. Very nice. Now look at that. It stopped smoking and everything. So we have got a seasoned pan. Voila, look at that. Quite a difference from just a little while ago. It took about 15 minutes total time. So what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna show you how to make bruschetta salmon in that pan. And it's easy and it's delicious. Now let's go. The salmon we're working with today is from Verlasso Salmon Company. It is a super high-end product, all right? It's actually grown in fresh and salt water. This stuff is absolutely fantastic. You can learn all about them. There's a link down below in the video. You can find out where to buy it near you if you want to get some of this absolutely fantastic salmon. Now, let's get cooking. Now we're going to prepare our salmon. We're using Tina Cannon's European blend here. This is some great stuff. The recipe itself originally called for Italian seasoning, but this is a great substitute for that. So we're going to give it a nice coat. Okay, there's one, and there's two. Some olive oil in the pan. We're gonna let that heat up. I'm gonna go about 3 tablespoons here. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. The good news is our pan is heated up. You know that it's heated up enough when you can take a little bit of liquid, splatter it in there, and it sizzles. Now, the next thing it calls for is 1 small onion finely chopped. So I don't have a small onion, I just have this big one. So guess what we're gonna do? We're only gonna use half of it. Next thing calls for 3 cloves of garlic minced, and it calls for 6 basil leaves. So we got a couple that are really big here. I just happen to grow this in my garden, so I know it's nice fresh basil. Whew, welcome to South Florida in August. It's like 129,000 degrees out here. Anyway, tomatoes, onions, garlic. I got a tablespoon of lemon juice here. Our salmon is cooking away. I wish you could smell it. Look at that. Does it look awesome or what? There it is. There's our timer. It's time to flip our salmon. So, I'm gonna take my trusty little toadfish spatula here. All right, let's flip her over. Though I can tell that skin's coming off already. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna cook it for 6 minutes on this side now. And our salmon is done cooking. So we grab our trusty fish spatula. I'm gonna pull this right out of here. Oh, look at that. It's absolutely beautiful. Now for the fun part of the recipe. So we're gonna add just a touch more olive oil in here. And then comes the onions. So we're gonna pour our onions in here. Okay. Oh, it smells so good already. I can't stand it. Okay. Mix these around. We're going to cook them for about 4 or 5 minutes until they become nice and translucent. Okay. All right, so our onion is sweated down nicely. It's nice and translucent. So we are going to add the garlic. Gotta have the garlic. All right, right in there. Now this is not going to take long. Garlic cooks quick. We don't want to burn it. We'll let that go for about 30 seconds to a minute. And now the tomatoes. We're going to add all our tomatoes right into the same pot. Just like that. Give them a quick stir around here. This is going to be one oniony, garlicky bruschetta, just the way I like it. And now that the tomatoes are in, we're going to season this whole thing up with a little bit of salt and pepper. I use some nice kosher salt here. All right, nice coarse grained salt. So just going to give a good pinch. All right, tomatoes need some good salt. And we're going to use some fresh cracked black pepper. If you don't have a pepper mill, go get yourself one, all right? I like to use it on a pretty coarse grind. So we're just gonna add some in here and give it a nice topping. It doesn't call for it, but I'm gonna give it a couple sprinkles of Tina's European blend seasoning too. What the heck? It makes everything better. And our tomatoes are done to where they need to be, so we're gonna pull this off of the heat. All right, look at that. See that? Those tomatoes got wrinklier than an old man's belly. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Now the tomatoes and onions and garlic are done, we're gonna take our lemon juice and just pour this over. Let that sit for a couple minutes, just like that. Okay, I'm gonna give this a quick stir. But it looks so beautiful, I don't wanna mess it up, but boy, it looks good. Okay, just wanna make sure that lemon juice gets all over everything, really mixes in well. Now that we sat for a couple minutes, we're gonna take some of this bruschetta mixture here and just top our salmon with it. We're just gonna lay it right across the top of the salmon. Bruschetta's on there, so we're gonna top it off with two things. One is a balsamic glaze. It's a thickened up balsamic vinegar, usually mixed with some sugar or honey. So we're just gonna kind of run this across the top like that. And last but not least, we're gonna top it off with a little bit of fresh grated Parmesan cheese. I know fish and cheese don't normally go so well together, but with this bruschetta, you really need this with it. Make it rain cheese. All right, we've covered a new carbon steel pan. We've covered how to season that pan. We've covered how to cook in that pan. We've covered how to cook and prepare bruschetta salmon. This has been an action-packed and information-loaded video. I hope that you liked it. If you did like it, remember to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and please do me a favor, leave me a comment down below. Anything, all right? Also, if you liked or are interested in any of the products that we used, including this incredible Verlasso salmon, please, there's a link below in the comments, in the description, that will tell you where you can buy it, where you can buy all these different products, okay? So, that being said, I think it's time for me to taste it now. So, let's grab a little forkful here. Oh my goodness. Is that tender? Get a little tomatoes, get the basil. That is like heaven on a fork right there. So, I wish you could be here to join me with this, so I'm gonna do it in honor of all of you. I get a pat on the back for that one. That is phenomenal. I gotta be honest with you, okay? So normally I'm not that big of a salmon fan. This, I will eat this all day long. These two pieces are gonna be gone right after he shuts that camera off. This, the tomatoes, I mean, listen, you know, like a caprese salad, tomatoes, garlic, and basil. How bad can that be? Some fresh Parmesan. Oh my God, that balsamic glaze adds such a beautiful touch to it. Listen, it's important that you start with quality products. If you wanna taste a really good meal, you want your flavors to shine through, start with a good product. The salmon is unbelievable. Verlasso salmon, like I said, the link's below. That pan, that carbon steel pan is unbelievable. I don't know that I'll ever use cast iron again. So that's everything. Folks, I appreciate you so much tuning in to all these videos. I hope that you're enjoying them. If you are, like I said, subscribe, like, all that stuff. Share with your friends. But I want you to do me one favor. Remember to get out and grill, and I'll see you the next time on the FOGO Life.